Yo, L-V. Yo,夢でキャンセルし One, two, three, get sucked in my sheets これは現実、それか dream 混ざるミツと濃厚なクリーム
Hey guys, it's Miss Outspoken Outcast, and welcome to episode 1 of Opinionated. And today I'm going to talk about the True Cheaters ending for Catherine. So if any of you haven't gotten to this point on the game, if you haven't gotten this ending, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please do me a favor and play through the game and get that ending before you listen to this video, and then come back and listen. Okay, so first things up. Alright, so this playthrough was not my first playthrough. I actually played Catherine for the first time last month, and I got the True Lovers ending. But since the True Cheaters ending is like fresh in my mind, and since I just barely got this ending at 2:30 this morning, I know, crazy, I stayed up that late. But, since it's fresh in my mind, I'm going to decide to talk about it. So, there were a few things that I noticed as I played through this game. I noticed that the more of a dick you are, like, the more that you go towards the chaos, it's affecting how other people around you act. Like, basically, your actions are not just affecting you, but they're affecting everybody else. Like, the interactions between Orlando and Erica, for example, usually he's just like, oh, shoo, go away. But then he's just like, oh, will you shut the fuck up? To Erica, basically. And I'm like, wow, Orlando, gee, what crawled up your butt? And, yeah, there's that. Johnny seems still pretty detached and very uncaring. Toby, he doesn't really even seem to change in terms of personality. And there was another thing that I found a little disappointing. I mean, I'm not going to totally cap on Atlas for this. I still love the company, love the games that they make, and I understand they probably didn't have a whole lot of time to, make this game, or they didn't want to take up a whole lot of space. But I did notice that there wasn't a huge variation in cutscenes for when you choose certain paths. Like, that doesn't happen until way later on. Like, for instance, throughout the whole game, Vincent's basically still acting like he's going to get back together with his girlfriend, Catherine McBride, but in reality, he's not. And, I was kind of expecting him to have a bit more of a, fuck her, she's dumb and whatever attitude, like, actually saying that. But he didn't, and I found that a little disappointing. I know you would probably be like, why the hell would I want that? But because it's, realistic. It's showing the dramatic difference between, good guy Vincent, bad guy Vincent, And an example of a cutscene that I felt like should have been changed, actually two cutscenes. The first one is the dream sequence where Vincent has this nightmare that his girlfriend, Catherine McBride, meets the succubus, Catherine. And he's all still acting like he still wants to get back together with her. He's like, oh, I realize you're important to me now. But I was picturing a different cutscene, like that actually being real. And while, Catherine the succubus is hugging up on him and saying how amazing he is in bed and shit, I would figure he would just have this kind of cool guy attitude and be smoking a cigarette and be like, yeah, baby, you can't satisfy me anymore. Like, agreeing with her and being, a typical dick. I was expecting that. But that didn't end up happening, but, oh well. I mean, again, I still love Catherine, and I still respect Atlas as a company, and I understand that, again, they probably didn't have a whole lot of time to work on this. So they've, decided to include what was really important. So that's good. The second cutscene that was retarded to me, and again, like, I really wish they would have changed, is when Vincent is yelling at Thomas Mutton, and he's being like, you know, don't fuck with me and stuff. And when he said, promise, you have to promise to make Catherine meet me here. It didn't even say that, because I actually looked at the subtitles and they cheaply changed it to say her. Personally, I think they should have taken the time, if it were allowed, to, you know, make him have a different dialogue in that moment, to make him say, you know, where the hell's that fine ass bitch, or whatever. I don't know. Again, typical dickish guy shit I was expecting. But again, it didn't happen, and I'm not going to totally sweat over it. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about how I felt about the ending. So basically, what happens in the ending is Vincent chooses to live a life with the succubus Catherine in the netherworld, underworld, whatever the hell you want to call it, and basically spends his days fucking her while her dad and all the other jealous succubi and, well, strangely enough, Thomas Mutton watches. Now, I was actually really surprised as to the way that this was illustrated out, because Vincent still kind of kept that nice guy exterior, that facade, because of the way he was talking to her. He was being very sincere, and he was saying, oh, I love you, I want to be with you, let's get married, and stuff like that. And it was kind of, the ending was kind of like them having their own little romantic, sweet ending. It wasn't really, you know, total cheaters ending where, you know, you would expect two people to be laughing evilly and being like, yeah, you're a bitch, oh, you're my bitch, and stuff like that. So, I mean, that was nice. And I also noticed that Catherine, the succubi, she had a little bit of character development there, because before she was all scared and not wanting to be quote unquote chained down, but then she actually wanted to be to Vincent. It appears that from what she was saying, that there's been no other man to satisfy her hunger like Vincent does. So I think what happened was, you know, every other guy she's encountered, she's just like, whatever. But Vincent caused some kind of spark for her to turn into a schoolgirl and blush. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess she's not so bad of a character after all, because that happened. And she was just not that typical slut, that typical town whore, that girl in high school that you expect to steal your boyfriend. Like, her personality immediately changed from what you would assume. And it was kind of nice, to be honest, you know, to watch her be all nice and, you know, hugging him in the morning. It was kind of, how do I put it, a more mature kind of ending. Like, it wasn't totally, like, mushy-gushy PG. It was, like, kind of PG-13 or R. And, you know, she wakes up and she's just hugging him. And they're, like, you know, cute little newlyweds being, you know, all hot and bothered and ready to jump into the sack again. So, you know, I guess that was a nice change of pace. But what I really didn't think made sense, though, about some of the dialogue for that ending was the fact that Vincent and Catherine were complaining about being chained down, yet they're saying they want to get married, and Vincent's saying, what did he say? He was basically saying that they could live their lives freely without chaining each other down, which doesn't necessarily make sense because that goes against the philosophy of the divine truth. And also, him not being bothered by her being with other guys or what she was going to be with other guys, that's very unrealistic because I know for a fact that men are very territorial creatures and they do not like it if you fuck their girl. They'll be like, oh hell no, that is my shit, you fucking no, just don't even do that shit. So, you know, that little bit didn't make sense. But hey, you know, at least in the end they were just kind of cuddling and being demon king and demon queen and being like, oh, I love you, oh, you're the best, and stuff like that. And, oh yeah, the whole Catherine's dad, Nurgle bit, that was cool. Nurgle just coming in there. I'm kind of sad that he didn't get a little bit more screen time. He got very little screen time. He seems to be a very amusing and funny character and a total contradiction to what you would think to be as king of the underworld, because it seems like his daughter pretty much has him wrapped around her finger and she's like, no, and he's like, oh, but you said you were going to play video games with me tonight. And I was like, that's adorable. So I wasn't disappointed, really, with this ending. I actually thought I was going to be screaming at the TV and being like, Vincent, you disgusting piece of shit, da 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 da. But I still like the pairing of Vincent Brooks and Catherine McBride. I still like that because that was the original way it was intended. And if you guys are wondering what the hell the Divine Truth is, that is a video that I will put up later. I don't know when, but probably after I do all these Catherine videos, and I'll explain it to you guys. So, anyway, main point of this video, I was not disappointed with the ending. I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. And, you know, Catherine's a good game. So, right now, I am playing it over again for the third time. This time I'm aiming for the good Catherine McBride ending, the good lover ending. So, wish me luck, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.